Imagine the golden African savanna, where the silence is shattered by the sound of bone-hitting flesh. A 550-pound lion, the undisputed king of the grasslands, lies stunned on the ground after a single explosive strike from a bird. This is the reality of the wild, where one mistake can turn a hunter into a victim in less than a second. Welcome to Wild Planet Ostrich. We are thrilled to have you here for another journey into the most intense moments of survival on our planet. Today we explore the thin line between life and death in the animal kingdom. Before we dive into these incredible stories, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below about which animal you think has the best defense mechanism. Your support helps us bring more of these high-quality documentaries to you. The lion, an apex predator, was moving with the stealth of a ghost. Each step was as light as the wind, eyes fixed on the target ahead. It did not rush because it knew that a single perfect moment was all it needed to end the struggle. But the prey was not a helpless gazelle. It was an ostrich, a 320-pound giant with legs like steel springs. When the lion made its move, the ostrich did not panic. It spun around with incredible speed and delivered a kick fueled by pure survival instinct. The impact was like an explosion. The dagger-sharp claws on the feet of the ostrich are weapons that can pierce flesh and even bring down a predator as powerful as a lion. This was not just a counterattack, it was a statement of power. In this open field, there are no thickets to hide in and no second chances. Every movement is visible to everyone. Victory here belongs not only to the strong, but to the one who reacts faster. While other animals might choose to run, the ostrich chose to fight back with a deadly blow. It was a risky choice, but it was the only way to stay alive. The king of the jungle had to pay a heavy price for underestimating a bird that refused to be a victim. As the sun began to set, painting the vast prairie in shades of gold, another tense confrontation was unfolding. A lion accelerated, putting all its strength into a decisive jump. It lunged forward, clinging tightly to the back of a massive wild buffalo. Its claws dug deep, trying to subdue the beast. But this time, the script was rewritten. The buffalo did not flee. It paused for a split second, then spun its 2,200-pound body with incredible force. The buffalo moved like a living wall. The collision caused the lion to stagger, losing its balance and its confidence. In that moment, the hunter realized it was no longer in control. Lions are masters of the ambush, always looking for weak points. However, they were facing an opponent with horns as sharp as natural spears and the strength to throw any intruder into the air. Here, tactics were not enough. The buffalo controlled the space with sheer weight and fearsome tenacity. One well-placed strike from those horns could instantly turn the tide. Unlike a zebra that uses agility to escape, the buffalo overwhelms with its massive size and unwavering determination. It is always ready to turn around and face any threat head-on. In the dry grassland, the dust kicked up by the struggle limited visibility. Every collision became more dangerous as the haze grew thicker. A small mistake in these conditions leads to very costly consequences. The buffalo is a reminder that even the most skilled hunters can be overpowered by the raw strength of a determined prey. The savanna is a place where numbers can sometimes be more dangerous than individual power. A roar echoed across the plains, but it was not a roar of triumph, it was a cry for survival. A pack of wild dogs was approaching from all directions. They moved like shadows, lunging in to bite and then withdrawing before the lion could strike back. One dog would bite from behind while another distracted the predator from the front. In the center of this circle, the lion spun repeatedly, trying to maintain distance. But each counterattack only targeted one enemy while the others continued their relentless assault. A single wild dog weighs only 65 pounds and cannot face a lion alone. But together they move with perfect coordination and a top speed of 44 miles per hour. They do not need to be stronger. They only need to be more patient. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the secrets of nature, please remember to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to share more amazing stories with you. The lion remains a symbol of power, but within this encirclement, its strength was slowly fading. Unlike the buffalo that repels enemies with a single charge, the lion here faced a tactic of attrition. Each turn and each pounce cost precious energy. Under the scorching midday sun, the high temperature made breathing difficult. The longer the fight lasted, the more the advantage shifted toward the collective power of the pack. In the wild, being alone is often the greatest weakness. Sometimes a single blow is all it takes to end a conflict. A lion launched itself forward like an arrow, aimed straight at its target. This was a familiar, calculated attack pattern where the predator bets everything on a single moment of impact. But the opponent was a giraffe, an animal that sensed danger even before the pounce began. Without even turning its head, the giraffe reacted. Its hind legs swung up with a wide range of motion, creating a sweep that carried tremendous power. A harsh, jarring sound echoed through the silent space as the kick connected. This was not a move meant to push the lion away. It was a force powerful enough to shatter bones. In that instant, the roles were reversed. The attacker became the one facing the risk of death. The giraffe showed that even the tallest and seemingly most peaceful animals have a hidden side that is absolutely lethal. The scene shifts to the water edge, where a massive figure emerged to block a charging lion. A hippopotamus opened its mouth wide, nearly 150 degrees, and charged forward like a moving mountain. The lion had to slam on the brakes, its claws digging into the mud as it stopped just inches away from those enormous teeth. The lion had been targeting a cub near the shore rim, but the situation changed in a heartbeat. A hippo weighs up to 3,300 pounds. For an animal this size, speed is not necessary. It advanced slowly, squeezing the space and forcing the lion to retreat. Lions are confident when their prey runs away, but they become hesitant when the target stands its ground. Hippos do not hunt. They protect. They never back down. Each step the hippo took pushed the lion further out of its comfort zone. There was no head-on collision, only a clash of wills. The battle ended not with a kill, but with a choice. The lion decided that the cost of a mistake was too high and walked away. The river surface was turbulent as a strong force pulled a wildebeest into the middle of the stream. The water surged violently as the animal lost its footing. The struggle ended almost as soon as it began because the crocodile had gained the upper hand. Just moments before, the area had looked perfectly safe. The smooth water showed no signs of life, but the crocodile lay motionless, turning silence into a weapon. The attack was swift. A firm grip combined with the weight of the predator and the force of the current blocked any hope of escape. On land, an antelope can reach high speeds and has quick reflexes. But in the water, the body loses balance and navigation becomes impossible. Crocodiles do not need to chase. They wait. Hours of lying still are exchanged for a few seconds of action. In this environment, time is the most effective tool. Victory belongs to the most patient. Now we return to the open grasslands. We hope you are finding these stories as fascinating as we do. If you have any thoughts on these encounters, please leave a comment. We love hearing from our community. A lion charged into a herd of buffalo, aiming for an individual at the edge. The goal was to separate the target from the safety of the group, but the reaction from the herd was instantaneous. Every buffalo turned around, lowered its horns, and moved forward as a single unified force. The confrontation became a stalemate. The lion searched for an opening, but dozens of eyes followed its every move. Lions are used to quick kills, but faced with collective resistance, their rhythm is broken. After several failed attempts, the lion backed away. The buffalo remained calm, proving that collective will can defeat individual strength. The riverbank is a place of constant danger. A lion was walking near the edge when the water exploded. A force surged from the depths and grabbed the lion, yanking it away from the shore. There was no time to roar or react. Only violent vortices of water remained. In an instant, the prestige of the king vanished. The ruler of the steppes was lost in the territory of a hidden assassin. A Nile crocodile, over 16 feet long and weighing 1,500 pounds, used its characteristic body spin to drag the lion into deep water. Lions are built for speed on land, but at the riverbank, that advantage is gone. Losing balance means losing control. The crocodile does not need to be fast. It only needs to be steady. Its low profile allows it to observe without being seen. After a few seconds of intense struggling, the lion managed to pull its paw away and retreat to the shore. The boundary was set. The river belonged to the crocodile. To bring you these incredible moments, Our team spends countless hours reviewing footage and ensuring every detail is accurate. We want to thank you for staying with us until the end of this journey. If you found this documentary valuable, please subscribe and give us a like. Your engagement is what keeps Wild Planet Ostrich going. We also witnessed a leopard trying to protect its prey from a crocodile. The crocodile surfaced near the shore, blocking the path of the leopard. The two opponents faced each other at close range. One had the advantage of the terrain, while the other was pushed to the limit. In the end, the leopard dropped its food and retreated. It was a choice made for survival. Energy is precious in the wild, and sometimes it is better to lose a meal than to lose your life. This is the law of the savannah. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our natural world. The rhythm of the wild is a cycle that never truly ends. As one confrontation fades into the golden light of the setting sun, another begins in the shadows of the tall grass. We see the predator and the prey locked in a dance that has lasted for millennia, where the rules of engagement are dictated by survival and nothing else. Every movement is a calculated risk, and every decision is made with the finality of existence in mind. It is easy to watch these events and marvel at the sheer power on display, but there is a deeper story hidden within the struggle. It is the story of endurance. When a lion hunts, it is not just looking for a meal, it is testing the boundaries of its own limits. When a buffalo stands its ground, it is not just defending its life, it is proving the power of unity in a world that often favors the individual. These moments are snapshots of a reality that is far more complex than we often perceive from the safety of our screens. Consider the endurance required to survive the heat of the midday sun. Temperatures on the open plains can climb to levels that drain the energy from even the most powerful hunters. Muscles become heavy, and the simple act of breathing requires effort. Yet, the predators persist, waiting for that one moment when the prey falters. This is where the true character of the wild is revealed. It is not always the fastest or the strongest that succeeds. It is the one that has the patience to outlast its opponent. If you find these insights into the life of the wild intriguing, we invite you to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Your interaction helps us continue this series. Deep in the heart of the territory, a pride of lions faces a different kind of challenge. It is not the external threat of a rival predator, but the internal pressure of maintaining order. A young male approaches the edge of the pride, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of intruders. He is the guardian of this domain, and his role is vital. The sound of a distant roar signals that he is not alone in his ambition. In the wild, territory is everything. It provides the resources needed for the pride to grow and the shelter necessary for the young to thrive. When an intruder enters this space, the reaction is swift and uncompromising. The dominant male rises, his presence alone enough to cause the surrounding wildlife to pause. There is no negotiation here. There is only the defense of what has been earned through struggle. The clash that follows is a display of raw power, a reminder that the top of the food chain is a position that must be defended every single day. These territorial battles often remain unseen by the casual observer. They happen in the quiet moments between the dramatic hunts and the tense standoffs. It is a constant game of shifting boundaries, where the line between control and chaos is incredibly thin. We see this reflected in the way the animals move, the way they posture, and the way they communicate across the distance. Every gesture is a message to anyone watching. The water source, the lifeblood of the savannah, remains a focal point of these tensions. Throughout the day, different groups gather here, each one wary of the others. The tension is palpable. Even the birds seem to fall silent as the larger mammals approach the banks. It is a communal space, yet it is also the most dangerous place to be. Predators know that the water draws in the thirsty, and they are always waiting in the reeds, camouflaged against the mud and the shadows. We have seen how the crocodile utilizes this environment to its advantage. It is a master of patience, lying still for hours, barely breathing, just watching. It is a reminder that in nature, the best hunter is not always the one that moves the most. Sometimes the most effective strategy is to become invisible. The ability to disappear in plain sight is a gift that very few possess, and it is a trait that has allowed the crocodile to survive largely unchanged for millions of years. If you have stayed with us this far, we hope you are feeling the intensity of the struggle. Please take a second to hit the like button if you appreciate the effort our team puts into bringing these stories to life. Your support is the heartbeat of this channel. The life of the prey is equally fascinating. They are not merely passive victims. They have evolved incredible ways to detect danger, from the wide range of vision in an antelope to the keen hearing of a wild buffalo. They are constantly processing information, analyzing their environment, and making split-second decisions based on the smallest cues. This constant state of alertness is what keeps the population balanced. It is a delicate web of life where every creature plays a vital role. When we observe these animals, we are witnessing the evolution of intelligence. It is not the intelligence of language or technology, but the intelligence of survival. It is the ability to adapt to changing conditions, to learn from past experiences, and to make the right choice when the stakes are at their highest. This is the wisdom of the wild. As we look toward the next chapter of this documentary, we find ourselves reflecting on the fragility of it all. How quickly a landscape can change. A season of drought can turn a lush paradise into a dust bowl, forcing animals to travel further and fight harder for what little remains. This brings out both the best and the worst in them. We see acts of incredible cooperation, and we see moments of brutal selfishness. It is the raw, unfiltered truth of the natural world. The connections between these animals are deeper than we can fully understand. They live in a system where every action has a consequence. A herd of zebra moving across the plains affects the grass, which in turn affects the insects and the smaller mammals. It is a perfectly tuned mechanism, one that we are only just beginning to appreciate. Before we move on to the next set of events, we want to hear from you. What do you think is the most challenging aspect of life in the savannah? Let us know in the comments section below. We read every one of your responses, and they often inspire the direction of our future content. The sun is now dipping lower, casting long, dramatic shadows across the landscape. The cooler air brings a new set of behaviors. Nocturnal hunters are waking up, stretching their muscles and preparing for the night shift. The transition from day to night is one of the most exciting times to watch. The savannah comes alive with new sounds, new smells, and a new set of dangers. We are moving into a realm where sight is less important than scent and sound. The lions will use the darkness to get closer to their prey than ever before. The predators that rely on their vision during the day will find themselves at a disadvantage. This is the time when the hidden players come out to claim their share of the resources. The dynamics of the hunt change entirely under the cover of darkness. Stealth becomes even more important. The rustle of a dry leaf or the snap of a twig can betray a hunter position. It is a high-stakes game of hide and seek where the prize is a meal and the penalty is a missed opportunity. Stay with us as we continue to track the movements of these incredible creatures through the night. The stories are far from over, and the lessons of the savannah are waiting to be told. Whether you are a fan of the powerful lions or the resilient herbivores, there is something here for everyone. We are committed to showing you the truth of the wild, no matter how intense it may get. Thank you for being a part of this journey. We are just getting started. As the moon rises over the vast plains, the silence of the night is rarely absolute. It is a tapestry of sounds where the distant call of a jackal or the low growl of a lion pierces the stillness, reminding every living thing that sleep is a luxury that few can afford. This nocturnal world operates on a different set of rules, where shadows are the primary camouflage, and the sense of smell comes the most vital tool for survival. Predators that struggle during the heat of the day find their advantage under the silver light of the moon. The pride of lions begins its nightly patrol. They move with a fluid grace, their bodies blending into the darkness of the tall grass. They are not looking for a chase, they are looking for an opportunity. Every shadow is examined, and every breeze is tested for the scent of potential prey. This is the time for patience, a virtue that is tested more at night than at any other time. If you appreciate the dedication shown by these predators in their pursuit of survival, please leave a comment and share your thoughts on the nocturnal habits of the wild. Your engagement helps us continue to explore these hidden narratives. The herbivores, meanwhile, are in a constant state of vigilance. They gather in tighter groups, their ears twitching at the slightest rustle. They know that in the darkness, their vision is compromised. They rely on the collective senses of the herd to warn them of danger. It is a fascinating display of cooperation, where the safety of the individual is sacrificed for the survival of the many. When one animal catches the scent of a predator, the entire herd reacts in unison, a ripple of movement that defies the confusion of the night. This nightly dance is a testament to the evolutionary pressure that has shaped these creatures over millions of years. Every adaptation, from the reflective eyes of the key to the heightened hearing of the zebra, is a response to the constant threat of the night. It is a perfect balance of risk and reward, where the hunters and the hunted are locked in a perpetual game of strategy. We see this balance reflected in the way the savanna breathes, a rhythm that has been steady since the beginning of time. If you have been following our journey, you know that the stories we tell are not just about the fights and the hunts. They are about the underlying connections that bind these species together. They are about the delicate balance of nature and the resilience required to thrive in an environment that is as beautiful as it is brutal. We are committed to sharing these truths with you, and we thank you for your continued support through likes, comments, and subscriptions. And as the night progresses, the temperature continues to drop, bringing a brief respite from the extreme heat of the day. This is a time when the water sources become even more dangerous. Predators congregate at the edge of the pools, waiting for the thirsty animals to approach. It is a tense standoff that can last for hours. The air is heavy with anticipation, and every movement is scrutinized by dozens of eyes. The water is a mirror reflecting the struggles of the savanna, a stage where the most critical dramas of survival are played out. We have seen how quickly a scene can shift from calm to chaotic. It is a reminder that in the wild, the status quo is always fragile. A single wrong move, a moment of distraction, or a shift in the wind is all it takes to trigger an event that will determine the fate of those involved. It is a high-stakes environment where the line between success and failure is thinner than a blade of grass. We are nearing the end of this particular exploration, but the stories of the wild are endless. Every dawn brings a new set of challenges, and every sunset marks the completion of another cycle of survival. We hope that these narratives have given you a deeper appreciation for the complexity of the world we live in. We want to thank you for being a part of this community and for your constant interest in the lives of these incredible creatures. Before we conclude, we have one final request. If you could witness any one moment in the wild, what would it be? Whether it is a migration, a hunt, or a quiet moment of interaction between members of a pride, let us know in the comments. We are always looking for inspiration for our next documentary, and your voice is what drives our creative process. As the stars begin to fade and the first light of dawn touches the horizon, the night hunters start to retreat, and the day animals begin their wake. It is a transition that occurs with a quiet efficiency, a shift in the guard that keeps the savanna functioning. The cycle continues, and so does our commitment to bringing you the most authentic and engaging content possible. Thank you for being with us on this journey through the wild. We look forward to seeing you again in our next adventure, where we will continue to uncover the mysteries of the natural world. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep